It's been one glorious week away from Top Chef Breakdown, so we thought we'd reach back into our bag and break down the two season finales, 19 and 20, just to give you a little comparison of how Buddha did this year. Last year's finals for Sarah, Buddha, and, of course, our favorite Evelyn. This was the first year, according to Tom, that chefs got to pick a previously cut contestant to act as their sous. Evelyn conjured up Joe.
When I was growing up, we used to have congee all the time. Congee all the time.
And gives her a really sexy pep talk.
We gotta come harder and stronger.
Sarah grabs Robert for his complicated shirt patterns.
Shut the fuck up!
And Buddha picks COVID Jackson.
How's your sense of taste now?
It's actually pretty good.
You gone smell blind, son.
If you have no frame of reference there, Jackson spent most of the season struggling from a lack of taste and smell after contracting a really nasty case of COVID. In the season 19 finale, Buddha breaks down the inspiration for his 4 courses thusly.
There's my brother, there's my mum, there's my dad, and there's 4 courses. And the last one I want to do a tribute to pretty much America.
Fuck yeah!
Sarah uses some of her money for a cowboy hat and then tells a little story about how she wants them to receive her food.
To feel like a couple of cowboys went out into the Sonoran Desert, happened upon a Michelin-star kitchen, and then Eric Repair was also lost in that desert and he came to eat it.
That suits you.
And Buddha goes to a store called Dickman's. Don't have a joke? I just love the word. Dickman's. We don't have those up here. Are they all over?
That's a real dick move!
Sarah talks a lot about bunnies and thinks about smashing Jackson's face right before the judges stop by and give her such a startle that she has an unfortunate accident.
That's Eric Repair. I just shit myself.
It would be easier to talk about how the two finales are similar than how they are different. We got 2 sassy Midwestern girls named Sarah that were eliminated and returned for dominating Last Chance Kitchen. 2 delightful human beings from Mexico with impeccable flavor profiles, and 2 Buddhas. This first season, Buddha was still very much processing the passing of his father that happened weeks before his acceptance to the competition. The dinner location was set against the Arizona landscape in a late fall when the bees need to switch their main food source from blossoming flowers to things like meat.
I'm really being attacked by bees.
Not the bees!
So the courses went out this way. Evelyn made a scallop crudo with prickly pear and citrus broth, sweet potato, and crispy quinoa. Overall considered delicious, but some things like the scallops were underseasoned. Buddha made a hamachi with sauce vinchan, caviar, apple, and sweet potato bees. And you can see what the judges called a flawless meal is being swarmed by actual bees. Sarah made a venison and beef tartare with sourdough miso and smoked butter. A lot of the judges considered it a little bit underseasoned. You can see that the table is really far from the kitchen. And so Buddha does this kind of crazy, creepy tactic where he would sprint from the table back to the kitchen, sort of leaving Sarah and Evelyn in the dust. I really feel like this is like a tactical move to either give him more time or more energy when he was in between servings. Anyways, I never forgot that. By the end, they're like begging him to stop running.
I'm not gonna run this time.
No, please don't. Can we walk?
When Buddha puts down his second course, Gail has quite a reaction.
No.
Evelyn made a crystal dumplings with shrimp and corn broth, hoha Santa oil, and crispy garlic, which is a widely regarded dish. Buddha made a Penang laksa with cannelloni lobster, king crab, and carrot butterfly tuile. The judges thought the dish was maybe a little too much. The caviar didn't work. Some of the judges called him a show-off. Sarah made a squash dumpling with corn husk broth, miso, huitlacoche puree with 3 Sisters salad that had too many elements. Huitlacoche.
Was a huitlacoche puree?
Huitlacoche. I think I stumbled on that word last year. In the third course, Evelyn made a braised goat with curry mole, nopoles, and spiced squash seeds. The curry mole was delicious, but they felt like the goat didn't pick up the flavors of the mole, which would have been difficult to do as they had very different cook times. Buddha made a Mongolian lamb and eggplant puree, asparagus, miso roasted eggplant, squash blossoms, and eggplant tuile leaves. The judges said the lamb was beautifully cooked, and they argued over which was the star of the dish between that and the eggplant. Sarah made rabbit ballotine with apricot, chestnut, and herb salad. The judges here felt like the rabbit was buried in the greens, and some of them came out undercooked. She'd had trouble making sure they weren't raw, and the corrections overcooked some while undercooking others. For the fourth course, dessert, Evelyn made a buñuelo with cajeta panna cotta, cardamom cream, pitaya, and persimmons, and the judges loved it. Buddha made a pumpkin pie millefeuille with pumpkin custard, cream chantilly, maple caramel, pumpkin spice cake, and pumpkin leaves.
This one's dedicated to
Sarah made an acorn cake with buttermilk ice cream and calypso bean miso caramel. When it comes to the judging of these two finales, one can sum it up thusly. If you're a hilarious Midwestern girl named Sarah competing in the Top Chef finale, don't undercook your meat. Sarah from season 19 had other issues with underwhelming flavors, but still brought some impressive elements to her dishes. Gabri had tiny imbalances to his dishes in season 20, and Evelyn had similar microscopic issues with the goat and the scallops. When it came to Buddha's performance in both years, judges made small comments about being a show-off.
Okay.
And referenced the maximalism of the 80s, but could barely find real flaws in his execution.
I think you stood on par with these great titans today. It was flawless and immaculately executed. It was one of my favorite dishes of the whole meal.
Thank you, Padma.
I think Buddha's second win in season 20 was well deserved. You can see that he even took the time to up his game in season 20, falling only once to the bottom in any elimination challenge, where by my count, I think he hit the bottom about 3 times in season 19. Hey, this is just 188's opinion. You guys can let me know how you feel in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you like breakdowns of dumb cooking shows. We got about 2 weeks until the 4th of July. So from all of us at Poached,
America! Fuck yeah!
see you next week.
Do you know the number of times I almost fainted just now? 7. The answer is 7.
What did we learn here today?
That's Eric Repair. I just myself.